more dramatic eye look on her today. She has blue-green eyes, and I think that these purples of mascaras, eyeshadows will make those eyes really pop. So we're going to do a halo eye, and for the first thing, I'm going to start with her eyes just so that I'm not messing with any fallout when we go down to do her rest of her face makeup. So first I'm going to come in with this color, which is Mi Hija. And I'm just going to take a flat eyeshadow brush and work that into the crease of the eye, flicking slightly upward towards the brow bone and just blowing that out a little bit so there's added color for our underneath base there. Do that on both sides of the eye, and then I'm coming in with a small flat eyeshadow brush with a darker color that's a purple base also. This is the color Kin, and I just work it from the outside and inside corners towards the center of the eye. You want to keep your dark colors really low beneath the brow bone and the crease of the eye so that it doesn't start looking like you have a black eye. This color that I'm coming in with now is a bright color called Mama, and I am just working that right over and blending through those two dark colors. Once I have that blended through, I'm coming in with the Photoshop and illuminator and going right under her brow bone with the fluffy eyeshadow brush for a little bit of added pop right under. And once I've done that, I'll come back in with a concealer, a really bright, even brighter than her skin tone, and go right over the center of the eyelid there. This is what's going to give us that halo effect, that really wide open eye, doe-eyed look. So with that extra lightness in the center, it's going to give us a really nice base for our eyeshadow color. So I'm taking a clean, fluffy, dome-shaped brush and just slightly blending through that. And then I'm coming in with a highlight color called Glamazing. I'm going to spray my flat eyeshadow brush with Stay Spray just to give it a little bit of added pigment. That way it'll be able to hold on to the highlighter just that little bit better. And I'm tapping that and pressing it into the eyelid where we just applied the concealer. The more you press and less swipe, you'll have better results with less fallout. So you really want to get that packed on so that you have a really powerful color in the center of the eye there. And that's what is going to give us the end effect that we're going for with this halo look. Now that I have the Glamazing packed onto the center of the lid, I'm going back in with Photoshop with the fluffier side of my eyeshadow brush and using that to blend through between the color that we've already applied on the brow bone and then the new illuminator color that we just applied to the center of the lid. Now, I'm taking this angled brush and wetting it, so for the same reason, to get just a little bit more grip on the pigment there of the eyeshadow, and I'm going in with the color La La Land, and I'm applying this right over her lash line, a little bit thicker than I would a regular eyeliner because we will proceed to use an eyeliner, and if it's too thin, it'll get covered up and make this step useless. Now that we have all of the colors applied to our eyelid, we're going to go in with a fluffy eyeshadow brush with no product on it and use that to blend through these colors. We want the transition here to be very seamless, and to help us with that, we'll go back in with a slightly lighter color, Bend and Snap, and use that as a middle tone between the dark on the outer corners and the very bright of the Glamazing illuminator. Finally, we'll go ahead and apply our lashes. I like to start with one coat of mascara on the upper lashes and then apply our falsies. I'll go across in a very tight line with a liquid felt tip eyeliner, whichever one you prefer. I like a Marc Jacobs or a Kat Von D. Then I will apply another coat of mascara to the lower lashes on either side, This is Tarte's Gifted Mascara. Once we have our mascara applied to the lower lashes, I'm going to go back in with a pencil brush in the color Kin that we used on the outer corners and apply that right beneath the lower lashes. I usually will only go on to maybe from the center, from the outside corner, but on this look I go all the way across and then just take a fluffier eyeshadow brush and blend that out slightly. Then I'm going to go in with a black pencil eyeliner and do just the outer corner of the waterline. Now we're going to move on to our face. She has a lot of redness in her skin and a few little marks, so I'm going in with a green-based color, June, and concealing some of that warmth. I'm using the detailed HAC brush on the small side so I can be very precise with my application. Once I have most of her redness covered up, I go right beneath her eyes where she has some prominent blue veins with the same color, June, to give us just a nice base for her highlight color. And that will kind of camouflage some of those unwanted pigments. Now I'm going to go in with the Buffy brush and soften out some of this concealer. I don't need to be too precise about it because we'll go through later with our perfector sponge and really make that nice and soft. Once that's blended a bit, I'll go in with the 30-second HAC brush and her highlight color, which is Candlelit, the nice, very bright but neutral shade. And I'm working that across the jawline here, just tapping it into the skin rather than sliding it or sweeping it. And I'm working across the jawline and then up under the lip, or over the lip, under the nose, across the nose, and then I'll go up onto the forehead just a bit. The next thing I'll do after I apply this highlight is go in with her contour color, which is Olive. I'll take the flat side of my detail HAC brush and apply the color right underneath her cheekbone to give us a natural shadow. You can see that there's a big difference here from the last frame. It's because my camera stopped recording and I did not notice as I continued to apply her contour. I also put the contour on her forehead, right underneath her jawline, and down either side of her nose to give it a straight and narrow appearance. Once I've applied all of her contour, I'll go back in with the pointy side of my detailed HAC brush, and using the color Moonlit, I'll apply an extra highlight right underneath her eye and down in a triangular shape towards the edge of her nose. This is just a shade or two lighter than her all over color, her highlight foundation, and that's going to draw the eye right there and really brighten up and make her look very wide awake and youthful. Then I'm going to go in with my damp perfector sponge and soften out this extra highlight, and I'm just going to dab softly into the color that I've just applied. I don't want it to move too much, but just to soften out any harsh lines. And then using the same Moonlit color from before with my detailed HAC brush, I'm applying that extra highlight right between her brows at the height of her nose and onto her forehead. And I'll just blend that softly again with a damp perfector sponge. After blending through that extra highlight, I'll go to her contour and blend through that just a little. I want it to be fairly prominent, but again, we just don't want any harsh lines, so our perfector sponge dabbing through will be able to soften that out for us just perfectly. Now to emphasize our contour, we're going to go back in with our detailed HAC and apply a small thin line of our highlight, a Moonlit color, right beneath that, and start dragging it down just barely with the tip of the brush and blending it with a perfector sponge. After I've worked with the perfector sponge, I'll go with my Buffy brush in the setting powder and apply that in dabbing motions under all of our highlight. under the cheek there, under her eyes, up her nose, and just a bit on her forehead. Then I'm going to grab my detail hack once more with a little bit of my contour color and just go through and perfect the contouring of her nose, on her forehead, and just anywhere that I see could be a little bit darker. Finally, I'll go in with the Photoshop illuminator and tap that onto the bridge of her nose, the center of her nose, over her cupid's bow, right on her cheekbone where the light would naturally hit, and under her arches and her eyebrow. Finally, I'll grab our blush color and the B squared bronzer and blush brush on the blush end. That's a lot of B's. And I'll apply that to the apples of her cheeks and then just slightly up towards the sides of her face. Bringing that color out just a little bit will make her face appear just slightly wider. So if you have a naturally wide face, you just want to keep that color right on the center of your cheekbones there. Look at that bicep. Then I'm going to go with my damp perfector sponge and just go over the whole surface of her face, mostly over the highlight because the contour, like I said, we want pretty defined. But that's just going to give us that really soft, blended appearance. The perfector sponge, you do want to make sure that it's damp. Now I'm going in with a lip liner from Urban Decay in the color Rush. I'm going right beneath the natural line of her lip on the lower lip and right above on the upper lip, just to overline and give it a nice plump appearance. Once I've done the outer edges, I'll take the same lip liner color and drag the color in towards the center of her lip from every side. After that, I'll use Plum and apply a thin layer of the blush and lip color all over the entirety of the lip. Ooh, look how pretty. And we're not even done. We're going to go in with our Best Blend Forever brush on the fluffier side and use our Glazing Illuminator once more. Tap off the extra and go right over the highest point of her cheeks where the light naturally hits. We're going to tap that same color onto the bridge of her nose, right over her brows at the arches, on the center of her chin, and the small side to do her cupid's bow, making her lips look nice and full. We do not want any of this going anywhere, so we will come in with our Stay Spray from kind of far away. This one has the SPF in it because it's getting to be summer and she will probably be outside. Once we've applied it from far away, we'll spritz onto our perfector sponge and dab right over the parts of the face that get kind of oily. You can do the entirety of your face if you are oily, but for those of us who are normal to dry, you really only need to apply the extra Stay Spray under the eyes, down the nose, and across the forehead in the T-zone. And that finishes off this look. There you have it. If you've liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe and stick around my channel to see any of my next tutorials. If there's something in specific that you would like to see, go ahead and leave a comment and I'll get around to making a video. If you're interested in mascara makeup, you can hit me up on Instagram at Rockwell and Hayes Hair Co. and shoot me a DM with a selfie in natural light with no makeup and I will get you color matched. Thanks so much for watching.